All right. We're ready.
Oh, is it on?
No?
Oh,
Let's open the windows. I think
really?
it's a nice afternoon.
What about the lighting?
No, I think it'll be fine.
Not sure if I can open this one.
Yeah, that's fine. So you know how we were talking about guilty pleasures, music-wise?
Yeah.
Jimbo asked me that question like last year. Were you there?
Maybe.
The only thing I could come up with was Oasis. Were you into Oasis at any point?
No. I mean, I had to learn I learnt Wonderwall and guitar for music, as everyone does. Yeah. I think I never really got that into them. I mean, I know a few songs, but they sound similar.
Their songs.
Yeah.
I think you just don't know their discography deeply enough.
You know the song I don't like, which is often on karaoke lists, is Don't Look Back in Anger.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Why?
I don't like the chorus.
Too catchy.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Someone I once lived with, I saw them once do karaoke at the Rochester, and they chose that song and I didn't like it.
And you cannot like disassociate that song to that particular moment.
Yeah.
Or was it already spoiled before that?
I knew that I didn't like that song, but I didn't know if it was I actually didn't know if that was the name of the song or not. I thought it may have been one of their other songs because they sound similar.
So that was my guilty pleasure as far as something James could relate to. You know, Oasis.
Okay.
But there's a lot of shit under the hood.
Yeah.
Like some Latin pop. That's ridiculous.
Do you like Mariah Carey?
There's nothing shameful about that.
I don't really know Mariah Carey Mariah Carey's music that well.
Usually stuff that you don't appreciate is stuff that you don't understand.
My guilty pleasure is Miley Cyrus.
I like her.
Yeah, me too. But I think people would assume that I don't. I mean, I don't usually listen to that sort of music. But I really liked the album, which I think is seen as her like really strange album. The one that she did with Wayne Coyne, who's the guy from
Flaming Lips.
Yeah, I really like that album.
That album is called Miley Cyrus and Her Dead Pets.
Yeah.
And Pets is spelled with a Z.
Yeah.
That Wrecking Ball song she had, did you ever get into that?
No, I didn't.
That was right before that, right?
Yeah, I just really liked, I don't know, it was so different, that sound of that album. Like, I felt like I hadn't heard something like that in a while. And it was like, kind of like psychedelic, and I liked it.
There was quite a few musicians doing stuff that was psychedelic around that time.
Yeah.
But I guess it was unexpected coming from her.
Yeah. And mixing like just talking and other things over the top of it.
I like that BB Talk song. I used to never like it when the album came out because I thought it was like, oh, this song is too catchy. This is going to be the hit, like the single of the album. Do you remember Space Boots?
Yeah. I like the song Karen, Don't Be Sad.
That's good.
I think it's probably my favorite song off it.
All right. So what do you remember about this role?
I remember some bits of it. Like, it was my first like proper time taking photos of like people. I hadn't done that before because I think I was always too scared to.
You've done it on your phone though.
Yeah.
But it's always more like a registry for your work as a makeup artist.
Yeah. I think just like I always felt, because I not like a proper photographer, that setting up the camera and making sure my exposure and settings, like it would take too long for the person who was standing, who I was trying to take a picture of. So I would often just do it on my phone for makeup reference. But I wanted to start capturing things in film, and yeah, I guess I was like, I don't know, I've worked on so many shoots, so I was like, why like shouldn't I start like taking some photos?
So it was just being considerate for the person you're photographing, for their time. Or was it more that you didn't want to look like a total amateur in front of them?
That too, but then when like, for example, like I think the first person maybe on that roll I took a photo of is Ivy, this model, and I know when I was taking a photo, I was like, oh, sorry, I'm just gonna like adjust, but like people are used to it, and it's so fine.
Yeah. Were those photos in this role?
Yes.
Ivy. So it was someone else's shoot. Was someone else the photographer?
Yeah, I did a shoot with Hannah, and I just wanted to get some photos. Just, I don't know, I want to try it. I brought my camera along, and yeah, just took her up onto the stage at the studio and took like 3 photos or something. Yeah, but then there's some other ones in there which I have no idea what will look like actually in like, yeah, it was very on the spot, and I didn't want to take too long adjusting and everything for the artist Kim.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of dark in there.
So let's go back to the shoot with Hannah. Those photos haven't been retouched yet.
No.
And the idea is quite original, isn't it?
Of what I took?
Yeah, of the whole shoot. Like, what? Tell me a bit about the inspiration. Like, what made you want to do what you did in terms of makeup, for example?
I mean, I think I always like to incorporate other things, not just using makeup. So like using, I mean, I know I've used that dried up clay before that cracks on people's skin for texture. And I generally stick a lot of things on people's faces. I just wanted to try and use a different medium and not just be makeup. And I always really enjoyed the prosthetic side of makeup when I was in makeup school. I feel like I never really got a chance to do it after I finished because no one really ever asks for it. I think I've done it maybe twice. But yeah, I wanted to start incorporating that kind of making extra things in a prosthetic sense, and then adding it to like a fashion editorial.
Do you think that's becoming a thing? Like people are starting to use prosthetics as part of the expression?
Yeah, like I have seen it. Like I follow a few makeup artists that I follow. Like one kind of specializes in prosthetics. And you know, I've seen on like a runway before, so they added in like extra cheekbones or something.
Have you seen this before?
I've not seen this.
It's like ages ago. I don't love it, but yeah,
Whoa, what's a forehead?
it's pretty interesting.
I like the top left image.
This one,
Yeah.
I think that might be a steal from the video. There's a video. I don't know if I should like show it. I don't really care, but it's called the dernier cri, like the last cry.
Oh, 2019.
No.
Oh.
So it's a futuristic take.
Oh, when was this done?
2008? Maybe before.
Wow.
Maybe like 2006.
That's cool.
Do you think it looks like a set?
Nah, that could be someone's home.
So this photographer, he's Dutch. I was really into his work back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. He kind of like really, I remember the first time I was exposed to his work. It was just right before going on a field trip with other photographers. And during the entire trip, we were shooting like landscapes, and all I could think of was his work. I was like, how the fuck?
Does he shoot landscapes?
No, he doesn't shoot landscapes at all. So I was being really frustrated and like kind of like stuck in this landscape trip when I wish I could be like conceptualizing a studio shoot.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I wasn't even prepared. And I'm not prepared now to shoot anything like he does. One of the friends I went to this field trip with got signed by his agency.
Really? Wow.
He
That's
was like,
cool.
"Oh, do you remember this Erwin Olaf dude?" I was like,
Do you remember?
Of course I remember.
That's cool. When did that happen?
This conversation we had was like in 2017. Yeah. I'm not sure if he's still signed with it.
Yeah, right. For a second, I thought that was our doorbell, and I know that we don't have a doorbell.
Do you think we should?
No, I don't like them.
Does it bring back bad memories?
No, I just don't like doorbells.
Do you think they're intrusive?
Yeah.
Check it out.
Sophie, ma chérie, tu es magnifique. Laisse-moi te regarder.
Merci ma tante, c'est le dernier cri.
C'est ravissant, je t'envie. Mais entre, ma chérie.
Comment, oncle Georges?
Enfin, tu le connais.
Anyway.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, it is interesting. So 2011, but I'm pretty sure it was shot before, and the photos were shot before. This is a good commentary.
Thanks, Boyd.
Okay, so was there any reference that made you want to do this? Just the whole prosthetic thing.
I saw a reference of I think a Russian girl that had thorns stuck on her face, like porcupine thorns. They might not have even been porcupine thorns, but they were long and black, and they were stuck just in the middle part of the face. But I wanted to work with this model, and she has like very blonde hair, bleached eyebrows, kind of like alien look. And yeah, I wanted to add extra things in so it just looks like normal skin tone. And yeah, I wanted to do the spikes.
And you contacted Hannah to do the shoot?
Yeah, so a part of this designer's collection was like this long or this like big white jacket, like oversized, and it's been covered in black hairs.
Where did I see that? Did you?
Yeah, at the studio. I brought it in and I showed it to you, and
Was
you
it
were
like
like,
human hair?
yeah, pretty sure.
It was kind of disgusting.
Yeah, and
but that's not necessarily a bad thing, you know? Like some really interesting art is disgusting.
yeah, I liked it because it was something that made people kind of like kind of cringe at, like, which I think is an interesting response. Like, I don't think it's a bad response at all. And I thought, with the spikes, it would be good. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird to see, like, some people don't like, you know, clusters of things. And I wanted to have it just look like seamless and there be these flesh spikes coming out of her face.
How did you manage, like, to start shooting when obviously Hannah was the designated photographer for this shoot? How did you, like, make your way into that spot?
I don't know. I think just like with all the garments and stuff I borrowed, they were all like similar color. I just borrowed pretty much this entire girls' collection and then 2 things from this other person.
Yeah, I mean, so it's pretty much you art directed the thing, right?
Yeah, I guess.
And styled it.
Yeah.
So this is something I'm really interested when it comes to your work. I think you are your creativity can go in so many different directions. And regardless of which shape it takes, whether you make jewelry, whether you do like makeup, or even photography, it has kind of like a distinct personality or identity to it.
Mm.
And that is something I value highly. And the fact that you've got the guts to like show your photos like that, because, you know, it's very confronting just to show every single frame that you've taken in a roll with all the mistakes and all the things that you would have done differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me that, you know, puts you right in with other people that have been shooting for longer, you know. I think you've been doing some, it doesn't, I mean, experience, yeah, does make a huge difference, but a fresh eye on photography I think is always interesting. And, you know, so that's, you know, you were saying that you were kind of like embarrassed or that you were unsure whether you should come to this thing, and, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think people just like know me for being a makeup artist, and I don't know. I have a lot of ideas all the time of shoots and that kind of thing, and I feel like I never, until like, you know, recently, I never really started like doing it and putting forward my ideas. I would just always go off of what a mood board or someone else has asked me to do. And yeah, I'd sort of like give an idea to a photographer, and
here's what I think. I think you have the potential to art direct, style, and do the makeup and shoot a shoot. So it's entirely your thing. You know, like kind of like, I mean, of course you're not a movie maker of that caliber, but, you know, like Wes Anderson and Tarantino, they create these universes in which they are able to control every single element. We're doing something that's way scaled down, you know, like a photo shoot. But I think you're halfway there. I mean, you're pretty young, and you've already done some really amazing stuff, and, you know, I mean, there's a bunch of other things that I think you've got going for yourself when it comes to artistic judgment, like the way you value art or beauty in general. Anyway, I don't want to make you uncomfortable praising. So yeah. So no, what I meant with my question though was, so if Hannah is a designated photographer, how do you squeeze yourself in? Like push her out, and you're like, hey, now I'm the photographer. Or was she away when you started shooting?
oh no, I just took these at the end.
When she was done.
Yeah.
Okay. Was she still around?
Yeah, I think so.
Was that a bit intimidating? Because, you know, Hannah, she's a monster.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the thing is that like I've been interested in shooting, but then it's like, is it okay for me to like bring a camera along and like take a few photos when someone else is here to do specifically do that? Like, is that not okay for me to do? Like I value and like respect, you know, the people that I like get to work with a lot. I wanted to see if I could do it.
Yeah. It comes a point in your life where you have to put your foot down and say, hey, you know, I can do this and I will. Having said that, being a photographer, I've had instances where makeup artists want to do the behind the scenes photo, and it's extremely distracting.
Yeah.
But you're not doing that.
Nah, I take behind the scenes sometimes, but to be honest, most of the time, I often forget. If I'm working on a shoot where there's lots of people around, and generally if I work on a shoot where there's a stylist will always do behind the scenes stuff, like all the time. So I generally don't, but there was no one there to do behind the scenes.
There's so many ways of doing behind the scenes. It's, you know, I've worked with makeup artists or stylists that are quite intrusive.
Yeah, not a fan.
They turn the shoot into showcasing my social media opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough because like social media obviously is like helpful for people. Like,
when I think about art, I never think of social media.
yeah, but sometimes it's like, I feel like sometimes people just do shoots just for like social media. And
what's the end goal?
For me?
No. For somebody whose motivation, I'm going to do this shoot to post it on my Instagram, right?
People just want content.
For what? To get paid gigs.
Yeah. Also just to, I think some people sort of have an idea that if like you post a lot, then it shows that you are doing something.
Yeah.
Like often. And yeah, I don't know, I guess. I mean, that kind of happened with me. I used to post a lot. I still post regularly, but not heaps.
You're very prolific.
Yeah. But from that, yeah, I don't know. I feel like people see you doing things. It has, you know, I've gotten a lot of work out of it.
Yeah.
But
that I absolutely get. Like if
Yeah.
you have a strong social media presence, then people are more inclined to hire you and pay you, right?
not necessarily. I don't know. I think like,
It's tricky for me because I've never been part of that whole thing, and I've been making a living out of photography for 10 years. So maybe I belong to a generation where it wasn't that important.
I mean, it is important to people, but I think it's like Mish and I were talking about this. Like, I'd happily have like 11 followers than like 2,000 and something or whatever. Like, I don't care. Like, I mean, I don't use tags. I never use tags ever.
Do you have more followers than I do?
I don't know. I have like,
You do.
do I?
Yeah. By
There's a
like
period of
200,
time-
there was a period where I had more.
Yeah.
Then you passed me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like, I don't really, I guess, I don't know. I've never been the person to like, obviously like my social media is like my business, but to be honest, it's just like a showcase of art that I've got to work on, and I like don't really care if like people like it or don't, or like, oh, this post didn't get as many likes or whatever. Like,
Do you think that shift? So here in Australia, I mean, that's not a thing in the whole world. Now that I went back to Peru, I
Really?
was talking with my assistant, and they still get the numbers. So yeah, I mean, some people would be listening to this from abroad. So in Australia, they remove the number of likes when you look at it on the phone. You only get like this person likes it and others or something like that, right?
yeah.
Has that shifted your perception of how successful a post is or how meaningful a photo is?
I don't think so. Like, I feel like I don't know when, maybe like last year or like end of 2018 or something. I don't know. I guess I got to the point where like it doesn't really matter. Like, it's just a number, and it's cool that I have like an audience of people who are so nice and just like what I do, but I'm not like crafting what I do to please an audience when I post something, like, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It also has to do with the stage you're at in your career. And I think like you have established a strong enough network of, people that will give you work here and there.
Yeah, like a lot. I think some people, like I don't really show any kind of like super commercial work I've done because I don't know, I just like to, it's not that I can't do it and haven't done it. It's just that I like to show more creative stuff.
Yeah, fair enough. I think also with the way like whatever you post kind of like creates an identity online, and most people are going to be in touch with you through your social media than in real life. So you might as well be honest with what you post and, post something that you truly think is beautiful. Or
Yeah,
I'm like that as well. So,
Yeah.
for years when I was working commercially, I wouldn't post any of that shit because it was no good. I was getting paid for it, but, Justin Bieber is getting paid for his music, and that doesn't make it any good.
Like, I think I remember asking you once, like, hey, like, do you think this looks weird? Like, I think I was going to post something and I wasn't sure about, it was super close up. So I was like, you can see everything. And then I was like, you know what? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. And yeah.
I think imperfection is a very strong aspect of your work. Right?
Yeah, it is.
It's not only, it's not a mistake. It's something that you strive for, and you try to find kind of like the beauty within imperfection.
Yeah, for sure.
Is this an idea that makes you feel a bit uncomfortable, like kind of like deconstructing your aesthetic identity?
No, it's okay.
Because you're blushing.
Oh, really? It's kind of warm.
Okay, it's off.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
When it's warm. Sorry. I can color correct that.
Okay. Now you have to edit it.
That's all right. I'm going to have to mask your hair as well.
Why?
Because it's red as well. You when you color correct something, you have to base it on, you choose red and then you lower it.
Oh.
Then your hair is going to look gray.
Oh.
No, it's fine. Do you want me to turn on the aircon?
No, it's okay.
Yep. So you shot this girl with the prosthetics, and then there was another shoot, right?
Yeah, I did a shoot. Like end of last year. Or no, maybe it was the start of this year.
That was the one with Misha.
Yeah.
Do you remember how long you've had this roll in your camera?
From like January probably.
Okay.
Which is pretty, I almost feel like shame that it takes me so long to get through a roll. But
No.
I don't like shoot, like, I don't know. I don't shoot all the time. I mean, I take a lot of photos, but I don't have my camera on me all the time.
Do you wish you did?
Yeah, sometimes I do. And I was carrying it around for a bit, I think, because it's not that small.
It's not, but it's a good one. I mean, do you think my Nikon, the black one, is smaller considerably?
Yeah. I mean, it's... Oh, is it heavier?
It might be a little heavier.
But it's so much smaller.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times people go like, I'll just carry a light camera. But then most light, small cameras, they're like point and shoots.
Yeah, and I have one of those, but I don't know. I think now because I've been using this camera, I'm really enjoying, like, I don't know, playing around with the settings and stuff.
By the way, for the people listening, do you remember what's the model of the camera?
Like a Canon 100.
It's this one, right?
I think the first, so I got this camera from my uncle.
So it's a 100, you think?
Let's have a look.
No, sorry.
Okay, no, it's
It's a 50.
Yeah, it's the 50, but it's the 50, I think it's the 50 E-Lane 2 or whatever.
This one.
I originally had the EOS 50 and then I think I had it for a few weeks and someone broke into my house and stole it.
That was so scary.
Yeah. Took the new lens I brought.
Was it a 51.4?
Yeah.
Did you buy it on like Facebook Marketplace?
I bought it on eBay.
Was it new?
Yeah.
It was like $200 or $300, right?
Yeah.
What made you want to buy it?
I think I'd asked you. You mean the lens?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had asked you what lens is good. And I had asked a couple of other people and I had no idea. Like the camera came with a lens, but it was like a zoom lens and
It's actually that one.
Really?
Yeah, that's the one that was in the drawer, right?
Yeah.
Next to the CDs.
Oh, yeah, that's the lens.
So that wasn't stolen by the thief.
Well, no, this is off the new. So after that camera got stolen, I was like, how am I ever going to get that same camera again? And I looked it up on Gumtree and some guy was selling it. And it came with that lens and it came with like some really, really old film as well.
You haven't used it.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's a weird brand. I think it's like I think it's just a cartridge that has been reloaded with some other film or something.
Ah, yeah, the package looks strange.
Yeah. They also stole one of your phones.
Yeah, they stole my old phone and they stole my DS.
But you've got a DS here.
Yeah, but that's because I brought another one. Actually, no, I got that one from my brother. But yeah, they took my DS. But they didn't take my old Animal Crossing game.
Wait, you got the DS that was stolen from your brother? Or this one is from your brother?
This one's from my brother.
It's pink.
Yeah.
Nice.
He used to have a white one and then it broke, and then I think the only one that was in store was a pink one. So
Yeah, he didn't give a shit.
no,
Do you think that's pink?
that's like fuchsia.
Can you grab it so that it's in camera? Careful with the tripod. Bring it in. What do you
It's-
think of that color?
It's like fuchsia.
Does it remind you of someone?
It reminds me of Barney, the dinosaur. It's the exact color.
So this camera, I quite like it. It's very light and it feels hollow.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so I guess you were like, you really enjoyed the original one and you just wanted to get something that was similar.
Yeah. I don't know how far apart. This is like the next model up from the 50. So the one I originally had. And I was like, oh, what's the difference between this and the Elan 2? And there wasn't that much difference. So I don't know. I felt bad as well. Like my uncle gave it to me and he was like, oh, I hope you really enjoy it. And, you know, he was going to check in, and I felt bad to tell him like, hey, like someone stole it. I mean, it's not a camera that's worth like, I mean, I think I brought the camera on Gumtree for like $50. Like it's not anything that's worth a huge amount of money, but I really liked it.
Yeah, it's not about that, especially when it's something that someone like a relative has given you.
Yeah.
One of my uncles, he didn't give me, but I used to use his video cameras and they were all stolen.
Oh no. All at once?
Yeah, like 5 of them.
Oh. In Peru?
Where else? Are you ready?
I am ready.
Do you remember where this was?
Yes, this is at my mum's house.
And how long has she had them for? So this is like, it's like a sculpture of an angel and there's another...
It's a little fairy.
Oh, sorry. Are fairies somehow related to angels? No.
They're like an earth angel.
Okay. What about Cupid?
I mean, Cupid is an angel, but he's not a fairy.
What's the other little sculpture there?
So the other little one is a gumnut house, and it has Tuppy written on it, which is a bird that my mum used to look after. I think she must have buried Tuppy there. So this tree, I don't know what kind of tree it is. I used to climb this tree as a kid though. And at one point it was so overgrown. It has berries on it actually, in the summer.
So this photo, these are 2 objects that you've seen for a long time, for many years, and you have never photographed before.
Yeah.
What made you want to photograph them now?
I don't know. I was just walking around my mum's yard and she has lots of little things. And
Were you actively looking for something to photograph?
no, I was just looking at like locations.
For?
I was going to shoot, actually I did shoot. It was on the roll that I finished just before I took this, like concrete casting of my own face that I did in makeup school.
And you were looking for a location to shoot that.
Yeah.
That's a very luxurious location, recce, using film. It's true, because usually, you know, people recce for locations using a phone or, you know, something that's...
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was looking at locations, but I had my camera on me and I was like, hey, like, I hadn't seen it in so long because the tree used to be so overgrown that it was like a dome and you couldn't get under this tree.
And someone trimmed it.
Yeah, it's not that it'd been trimmed, it had lost all its leaves, so I could get under it, and I got under it, and the fairy was there, and I was like, oh, like this used to be my favorite statue as a kid.
What do you think of the photo itself?
I mean, it's okay. It's pretty blurry.
Very good eye. Why? Do you know why it's blurry?
I know. I guess I just moved.
Yeah, I mean it is blurry. It's not incredibly blurry, but this is like camera shake. So yeah, you moved, but you usually shoot very close apertures, right? You like the f11, f16, f22, right? This is because you want everything to be in focus, right? You know what is compromised there, right? A small aperture, you'd need a longer shutter speed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, ideally you would have had to shoot this with a tripod, but I don't think the camera shake is that bad, especially for the subject matter. I think it's sharp enough for me to understand what's up.
I think for the environment, it's all right.
Yeah, exactly. It like I think the camera shake doesn't compromise the value of the image.
Yeah.
Is it good?
I think I don't know what's on here. Yeah, these are the birds. My mum has like 2 flocks of like 20 something corellas fly into her property like 3-4 times a day, and yeah, they make a lot of noise.
How many photos of birds do you think there are in this roll?
There's probably 2 or 3.
Very good. Yeah, do you like this photo?
It's all right.
I saw you looking down.
I was looking at the lawnmower.
Yeah.
My grandpa used to mow the lawn with that.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty old.
That's good. Do you think it's distracting?
Yeah.
Do you think it's distracting because where it's placed, because it's just there, or because it's red?
I just think it's because of where it is. Because the redness kind of ties in with the bark on the tree with the sun.
Yep. So where do you think it should have been for it to be, compositionally balanced?
Just on the right.
Yeah, I agree. Now, is it working?
Yes. Yeah, somewhere over here.
Yes, I agree, 100%. Now, is there a way you could have negotiated that with the camera? You don't have to move the lawnmower itself, but you can move the position of elements within the frame by moving your viewpoint.
Yeah, I could have, but this part of the yard didn't have much sun on it. Like if I shot from here, over here was like shady, and the sun was over here.
So you did consider it.
To be honest, I mean, I don't think I did. I mean, they get kind of scared easily. I didn't want to move around too much. Mm-hmm. There's a whole lot of sticks and bark here, so I knew if I stood on that, it would crunch and they would fly away.
So given that you couldn't move the position of the lawnmower within the frame, what's another way of removing that distraction?
What, like Photoshop?
No. It's funny because we were talking about that yesterday, right?
Photoshop?
Yeah, because we had a scene and we saw that scene. It was this beautiful house.
Yeah.
And
this weird hedge.
Exactly. It was like the hedge looked like it wasn't made of any organic material. It looked like a sponge pretty much, right?
Yeah. And it was misshaped.
Yeah. That's interesting that you say misshaped though.
Well, it was. It was like it was trying to be neat, but then the edges were kind of warped. Mm-hmm. So instead of it being like a box, it was kind of like this.
Yeah. I thought you strived for imperfection.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I thought it looked good.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
All right.
Ah.
Do you like this one better?
Yeah.
So do I. What do you like about it?
I like the shed, actually. I like the light on the shed. And the wheel is like randomly there. Yeah.
It is beautiful. It has this like domestic, effortless feeling to it. And the lighting is stunning. It was like late afternoon, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, another one. That one's cool.
You said 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Do you think this is the most successful out of the 3 of them?
Composition wise, probably, yeah.
Yeah. I miss the shed though.
Yeah, I like the shed.
And I miss the head of the one in the lower bottom right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when you look at that, what's the bird called?
A Corella.
Corella. Is it spelled C-O?
Yes.
Yeah. When you look at that Corella, you have to spend a little bit of time working out what it's doing. At least for me, like maybe I'm not a specialist in like bird's anatomy.
No, I mean, to be honest, for a second I thought there were 2 birds there.
Exactly. So this is something that I always talk about whenever I have someone, shooting. This is different because you're kind of like registering something that has some value for you emotionally. But when you're photographing a subject, for me, that type of ambiguity is something you want to avoid. Like when you look at that bird, you're like, oh, your brain is trying to decipher whether there's 2 birds there or not, instead of it going straight to your emotion.
Yeah, yeah.
A bird, for me, like the appreciation of a bird is like an emotional process. You want to be moved by the beauty of it, or
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. This is the most successful one.
There was 2 birds on that feeder. I guess one of them
Maybe one
flew
of them
away.
might have. Yeah, there's 2 there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Congratulations.
Yeah, so that's the jacket with the hair on it. I really like it. And yeah.
Tell us a little bit more. Where was this shot?
It was shot at the photo studio.
So Chloe and I, we work at the photo studio. She's a makeup artist and I am a photographer there. And we know every single corner in the studio at different times of the day, I'd say. We're pretty familiar with it, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's been, like 4 years?
Yeah. Yes, it has been.
So I have an idea where this was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this was shot on the stage on that bit next to the brick wall.
Brick wall. Oh, yeah.
There,
the window.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. There's always really nice light there.
Not always.
Oh, really? No, but at this time of day?
Yes.
And maybe we just don't often shoot that late anymore, but I liked it.
During summer, that's one of the best spots.
Yeah.
What do you think of this photo?
Yeah, I think it's all right. So at the end, towards the end of this shoot, Ivy was like pushing her face. We had a pile of flour, and Ivy was like kind of pushing her face into it, and she had her hands in it. So some of the white powder is on there, which I think is cool. It's a nice texture. And yeah.
I completely missed the flower. To be honest, I mean, I didn't spend a ton of time looking at these images, but this one was really striking. And I didn't even notice the jacket that made me really uncomfortable when I looked at it in person.
Yeah, right. I guess it could have been mistaken for some shadows or something.
It depends. When you look at it on the computer, maybe. When you look at it on Instagram, very likely. If you print this image the way it deserves to be printed, there's no way. You will get that feeling of the hair.
Yeah.
Attached to a white blazer.
It's so good.
I love this image. I love how classic it is. It's like a Venetian portrait, you know. She's not performing or anything. She's just standing there looking straight at the camera, and we have a specular coming right through the lips.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Which makes me wonder whether she had a piercing inside or whether it's just the teeth shining through.
It's the teeth, I'm pretty sure.
That trilogy of the speculars on the eyes and the specular coming through the mouth is undeniable. And it is so strong that there's nothing else to, you know, it just overtakes the whole eye, I think, when reading this image.
Yeah, for sure.
And then there's inevitable feeling of the warmth of the light coming through the windows. You can still see, you know, like part of the window on the wall. You know,
yeah,
you can see
the bars.
Is there anything you wished you would have done differently?
No. I think the shadow behind is alright. I don't mind it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Did you do the hair as well?
Yeah. I just wanted to do some weird curly thing.
Good. Good job. Which one do you like better?
There's still something about the first one that, I mean, just like the eyes and like those 3 points in the first one, like the point between the lips is the first thing I looked at and I was like, what is that? But I like that you can see like I like this side. Let me just get the mouth. Like I like this, and I like the like side profile. And
was that a conscious decision? Like you wanted to see the prosthetics protrude in like a profile?
Yeah, because I was like, you know, front on, they just look like these little, you know, splodges of something. You know, I wanted to see the spike.
Yeah, definitely. The afternoon lighting will make a huge difference, and you know you can spend a lifetime trying to recreate this type of lighting with flash or whatever you have as an artificial source, and it's just not the same. It's not the same for many reasons. It's not only that the quality of the light is different, but it's also that the experience of capturing something with natural light makes you think and feel very differently and makes you look at things in a different way. And I think because it was natural light, you were able to see in real time what had to be done and what had to be emphasized. In this case, the spikes, you know, like, of course, as a makeup artist, you want to emphasize that, but that's a very clear way of thinking and approaching it. You know, even like experienced photographers wouldn't solve this issue that you have with the image like that. Yeah, good job. Where was this? It looks like north, maybe around here, very close.
Yeah, I think this is in Northgate.
So and then you got closer.
Yeah, I just really liked the gate, and I thought that, and I liked the blind. I feel like people don't use those a lot anymore because they're quite old, but I like them.
Yeah, I like them too. I don't know why people wouldn't use them. Like they are so cohesive with a lot of the architecture around here. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense that you like this and then you like the gate and you just wanted to, condense it in one composition. Which one do you like better?
Probably the left one.
That's interesting. Do you find yourself shooting a lot straight flat onto a facade?
Yeah, probably.
You know, we both shoot facades of houses, right? It's something that...
Yeah, we both like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't like super interested in this bush, but the gate front on just looks good because it's like not even and it's all wonky. And on the side, like it still looks like that, but from the front, I just liked how this looks. Yeah.
Would you, I mean, you have a secret Instagram account where you post this.
Yeah, I do. No one will be able to find it.
Okay. Unless I share it under the comments of the video, which I won't.
It's just random photos I take on film.
Do you ever crop them like into a certain shape or crop something that you don't like, or you just post it as is?
Sometimes I do crop.
On Instagram, or you use a different application?
Just on Instagram.
Yeah. Would you crop anything here? You can use the mouse and crop it if you want. Have you ever used this window?
Yeah, I think I have. I would maybe crop some of the top out of it.
How much do you can use the mouse and...
I don't know. I mean, I still like the sky, but the palm tree's kind of weird.
Do you think it's too powerful?
Yeah, I feel like it's distracting. No, I like the road. Yeah, the palm tree is weird. But if I cropped it here, say,
Let's see.
it would look weird. Yeah.
It doesn't look very balanced, right?
No.
What about if you crop it like... There's so many ways of cropping this, and I don't mean to overtake your own work.
Go for it.
I like the road as well, but I don't think it makes a lot of compositional sense if you are concentrating on
The gate.
yeah, like the gate and the versus the texture of the house. Maybe that, or maybe with a little bit of maybe 4:5 aspect ratio.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I personally like this one better. I think this approach to shooting architecture front on is something that a lot of people do when they start photography, and they are enamored with turning the three-dimensional world into a geometric shape.
Yeah, it is very flat.
That's fine. There's people that have made careers out of this. Have you seen the word of Bernd and Hila Becker?
I'm not sure. Oh. Yeah, yeah, I've seen that one before.
I think they're beautiful.
Yeah, they're cool.
These were all shot with like large format cameras, super detailed prints.
Oh. What's this one of? Some pipes?
Yeah, click on it.
Ah, yeah. Huh.
I wish the internet was faster. Yeah, so, you know, there's no right or wrong. I mean, who's going to say that Bernd and Hila Becker are right or wrong? They're like one of the most influential couple in photography ever. But I do remember finding myself a lot of times shooting flat on to like architecture when starting out. And then I realized that adding a bit of perspective or a bit of angle to it is a more complex puzzle to solve compositionally.
Yeah.
And getting that perspective right. And for me, it's more gratifying when I solve that puzzle successfully, when I solve the perspective. Whereas if it's flat on, there's not necessarily a vanishing point that's being highlighted by the viewpoint.
Yeah. Whoa, there's water tanks.
Yeah, they're crazy. So they would shoot a lot of similar structures throughout Germany. Okay. There we go.
Ah.
That sounded to me like you liked it.
Yes, it's not bad. Yeah, so this is artist Kim in her exhibition, right, I think the day before she packed it down. And I did a shoot with Misha here very quickly. I didn't have a lot of time, and I don't know, I had brought some of my jewellery along, and I had brought some clothes along, and I just wanted to like take a couple extra, using some of the earrings and stuff. And
This is your shirt.
yeah, it is. Claire Barrow.
Tell me about Kim.
So Kim is a painter, and I've been a fan of her work for a really long time, and yeah, I feel like we would always kind of comment on each other's stuff on the internet, but I had never met her, and I had always wanted to do a shoot and do her makeup, and Kim once wanted to start getting into makeup herself. She does, maybe it might be in some of the pictures, you'll be able to see some of her paintings, but yeah, her work is crazy. She's amazing, and some of the makeup I've seen her do is like yeah, a lot like her paintings.
What's her last name?
Hy
UNG?
Maybe.
Like that?
Yeah, I think so. I know what the username is on Instagram.
All right, let's go there.
Kim. There you are. Second one. No, top one.
Hyunji. So Kim Hyunji. So when was the first time, as far as you remember, that she came into your radar?
maybe like 2017 or 18.
A while ago. And this, do you know what media, like are these oils or acrylics?
I'm actually not sure. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
These are great. These are like portraits.
Yeah,
Most of them, right?
pretty much all of them. And the time she's done it on people. So yeah, it's just like, it's amazing.
So I guess that's an interesting segue into going into makeup artistry. But does she even really need to? You know, she's already a painter.
Yeah, I mean, I think she went to makeup school for a bit in Sydney. But yeah, it's hard when you're in makeup school and you're sort of getting, I mean, it's cool to learn stuff, I guess, that you don't know. But especially, I know I found it hard in makeup school. I had ideas of stuff I wanted to do, and I felt like no one around me really understood what I wanted to do. Like, why don't you just do like a normal makeup look? And I just wanted to play with stuff. Yeah.
Like prosthetics? Or not yet?
Not yet. Just like weird eyeliner and like, yeah, just lots of color on the face, and yeah.
So you wanted to do it like a subversive kind of approach, you know, like kind of like breaking the rules in a way.
Yeah, I think I was just kind of very drawn into like color and a more of a painterly aspect towards it. I mean, that's how I got into it, really. It was like from painting. And I worked with this lady, and she was a body painter, and she recommended makeup is like an avenue that I could go down. And I never had thought about makeup at all.
Why is that an avenue you can go down as opposed to just body painting or just painting? Because it's something that's easier to make a career out of.
I mean, potentially. I guess, like, yeah, because there's so many different avenues in makeup. You know, you have like
Theater.
Yeah, and like your glamour stuff, and then editorial, and then
Bridal.
yeah, and then like prosthetics, like special effects.
Marcella sent me this picture because she knows I love this painting.
Yeah.
Do you recognize the painting?
Yeah, I do. I feel like I saw it recently.
Yeah. Wow, she writes quite a bit. Yeah, well, this painting is by the original one is by Velázquez. Yeah, you would have seen it. I would have shown it to you a few times. So that's the original painting.
Yeah, I saw it as a thing of them taking all the people out of images.
Yeah. Like it's a whole series of like historical paintings without people because I guess like
with the distancing thing. Oh, look at that dog.
It is amazing. That's one of my favorite bits of the painting. It's almost like yawning without opening the mouth yet.
Yeah, it's yawning and going like this. It's about to yawn.
This painting, this is a strange version of it because this version of Las Meninas has been attributed to Juan Bautista Martinez. Okay, so this is not the real Velázquez one, which is why it looks weird to me. And to anyone that knows the painting by that matter. But the original is displayed at El Prado in Madrid. And in my opinion, if you go to Europe and you have to see art, this is one of the things that you must see. The scale is just
Yeah, that's quite different.
overwhelming.
It's very big.
Huge.
Didn't he used to paint like floor to like roof?
Many times. And I mean, I'm sure there's some images of the painting with people around. So yeah, it's pretty big.
Whoa.
And when you get close to it, I think the beauty of Velázquez is that when you get close to it, it almost becomes like an impressionistic painting. That's why they call him like the magician, because it's so abstract when you get close. These almost like coarse brush strokes where things become indistinct, and then you get really far away, and everything falls into place with such accuracy. You know, it's almost like photorealistic.
Yeah.
You can see the reflection of the king and the queen here. And here's the painter, the artist himself painting, which is strange because it's a self-portrait.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
It's a crazy play. So he's performing. He's part of the court. He's performing for the king and the queen.
Oh, but he's painting this image at the same time as being in it?
No, it's a scene of him painting a portrait of the king and the queen.
Oh, what's with the setup of all these people?
They are just there. They're just there enjoying the company of the
Perfectly
Spanish royalty
like
of Philip IV and his wife.
Wow.
Now, what never made sense to me, and I remember even looking at this picture when I was like 9 or 8, is the reflection of the king and the queen here in this mirror does not include any of them. And if that mirror is that far away, you would be able to see everything in the room.
Yeah.
So it's like a long lens mirror.
Yeah, I mean, I guess these girls are pretty short.
No. This mirror and this guy, I think this guy was one of the arch enemies, not arch enemies, but one of the competitors or one of the colleagues / competitors of Velázquez within the court. This guy is really far away from them. At least, you know, by the scale of him, you can tell that it's at least 5 meters.
Yeah.
Or 4. If you have a mirror at that distance, you're going to be able to see the entire room.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm pretty sure he was perfectly aware of how a mirror works within spatial relationships. But
that's weird because you can barely even see the king and the queen.
I can see that that's Philip IV.
Yeah, but when I first look at it, I wouldn't think, hey, this is a portrait of the king and queen.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Oh, look at his... Oh, no. Is that... Yeah, that's him, just a bit younger.
Yeah, that's him. But, okay, look at that elongated face. And then when you go back to the close-up of the painting, you can see it there.
Yeah.
I love her work. It a lot, like, for example, this bit reminds me a bit of... Sigmund Freud, not Sigmund, but the other one, Lucian.
Yeah.
Do you know if she's a fan?
I'm not too sure, but yeah, looking at them, I could see.
I love his stuff. Yeah, right. It's kind of. There's also something that looks digital about it. Is this digital?
No.
It's handmade.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're all done on canvas. So
you got in touch, I mean, you kind of like started to get in touch with her work through social media.
Yeah. I just like, I'd always wanted to do her makeup. Yeah.
So I love this image. I love the space. I love the color. What do you feel like? I noticed a really positive reaction to it when I first brought it up.
Yeah, I mean, I just wasn't sure. Like, I didn't know what I was doing, and I mean, the space wasn't like super dark, but like I didn't want to take forever to like get my settings while she was just standing there and then changing poses, and I could be missing something, so I was just trying to, I don't know, I was looking at it, but I was just trying to like get it done.
Has Misha posted any of these photos?
Yeah.
Maybe let's see yours and then we'll see hers. Do you want to move to the next one, or is there anything else you wanted to? Oh, they're pretty similar.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to get some close-up stuff. I gave her some earrings. Yeah.
Were these photos going to be used for sort of like a press release or anything like that?
Not really. I mean, I think within her last week of her being here, she had so many people come and interview and take photos of her. So yeah, I think we thought about like submitting it somewhere, but you have to have a certain amount of outfits and yada yada. So yeah, we just like release them.
That's a lot of courage from you to like, oh, I'll take the whole thing on myself because you did the styling as well.
Yeah, I didn't want there to be like too much going on with styling.
Yeah.
And I knew that I had, I mean, we used some of Kim's clothes too, because she has nice stuff, and I had some random shirts.
Do you think a lot of times stylists try to flex too much in terms of their choices? Like they want to make their hand being shown in the final product with too much aggressiveness?
Sometimes, yeah. I think it's just like a matter of personal taste and preference as well. I think I used to be into that a lot. But I don't know. Sometimes I'd be on shoots and I was just like, I don't really know if all this extra stuff is necessary.
I remember the stylist I used to work with in Peru, he would like take over in terms of like how much his styling prowess would show in the final result. He would like fully take over and dominate and, take risks that weren't necessary just to peacock.
Yeah, or to just like change it up slightly.
Yeah. Let's look at the next. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I really like how the work was displayed.
So what is she painting on? Do you know?
It's like glass.
Huh. And it's just like oil or acrylics on glass.
Yep.
And they're meant to be floating, like not against the wall, but like that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And these pants, or what are they, like? Lingerie? No.
They're from Namilla. Those were Kim's. It's a brand from Europe.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And is she wearing one of your rings?
Yeah.
And one of them here.
Yeah, I think there's a few.
She looks like a model.
Yeah, she's done some modeling.
Yeah, for sure.
Do.
Natural light. Oh, wait, sorry. So what do you think of these two? Do you have a preference?
I really like the second one. I don't know. I really like both of them, actually.
Yeah, they're good. It would be hard to choose. Would you be inclined to like post both of them?
Yeah.
Was this natural light?
There was like a spotlight that was on to have it shine on the space.
Was this part of the show?
Yeah, it was like a separate room. There was a few separate rooms. I just remembered what's, I think, after this bit.
And I mean, it's a drawing, right? Do you know if it was charcoal or
I think it is charcoal.
was that hers as well?
Yep.
This is hard to do. The metering here so that you still retain detail on her face. And you have a decent exposure overall. We had a little chat about this with Misha, and it has to do with like how the film gets re-exposed. But I don't know if it's the guys at Helllight doing an amazing job for you, or
fixing everything.
It could be. That's the beauty of color negative film. I'm assuming that you shot this on Fuji. Do you remember?
Yeah, it's the 800.
Fuji 800.
Yeah.
No, that's not Fuji. That's Portra.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's on that one.
I love Portra.
Yeah, it looks good.
Especially Portra 800. I mean, the grain is a little bit coarse. You see? Very grainy.
Yeah.
I'm sure you don't care.
No, I don't mind.
It's just an added texture. Beautiful.
Yeah, nice. I feel like in that one you can see the earring a bit better as well.
Mm-hmm. Is she from Seoul?
I'm not sure.
That question was terribly timed because I just changed to this image. What do you think of this?
Yeah, it's alright. It's kind of weird.
It's amazing. I think it's one of the strongest.
Really? There was like a room at the back. Yeah, with this mannequin sitting. I can't remember what the mannequin had a name, but I can't remember it. And there were all these old chairs. They got them from someone who was selling them. Yeah, and
you had seen this room because this is where you did the makeup or something like that?
no, I had seen this room briefly, not with the lights on. I just saw like rows. There was probably like 3 rows of seats like that. And there was only a couple of pieces of work in this room, and there was some art. There was another painter's work over here.
Oh, so it's part of the gallery exhibit.
No, I mean, it wasn't a gallery. It was just kind of like an empty space. Kim kind of asked if she could use.
Is it still on?
No, it ended quite a while ago. What date were these taken? Oh, you'll have to get out of it because I don't have a keyboard.
Oh, you can just click.
Oh.
Like if you click, you zoom, and then you click again, and you zoom out. So wherever you click, it will zoom out to that section. Like if you click on her face, there you go. That's amazing. Do you think that's awesome? It looks like a still from a movie.
Really?
Yeah, like zoom in. Yeah, let's just. Oh, hey, I see you looking at your.
I just wanted to have a look.
What's the potential of me selling more pieces?
No.
No, you're doing really well.
Yeah, it's been unexpected in this time.
Quite the opposite.
Really?
Yeah, because people are more likely to just scroll through the internet and, you know, like you might have been around like on the radar here and there, but then suddenly they they can fully engage with the way you do things, you know, and pull the trigger, you know. They're like, I really need to treat myself because I'm going through this horrible hardship. And I think these are a beautiful way of course, these are beautiful images regardless whether your jewelry is in it or not. But if you can, just that crop, even if it's like really awkward, it looks like a film. Right?
Yeah, it does.
I think the aggressive grain of Portra 800 really benefits and also makes you have a proper exposure in this space without blur. It's a very sensitive film. You didn't seem that impressed with this image as opposed to like, I could see a proper reaction from this one, for example, right?
Yeah. I mean, I really like it. I just don't know if it's like super random. There's like, yeah, I just thought it was an interesting spot, and I don't think it really had any photos taken of it either.
Yeah.
There's like some of the packing boxes of the paintings that came in.
Yeah, you can tell it's not like a quote unquote proper location where you would shoot a portrait or a fashion image necessarily. And even her pose is not, you know, she's like not even engaging with the camera. It's so I like that ambiguity. Like, I hate using this word over and over again, but it's something that I really appreciate when it comes to photography, where you cannot really tell what's the role of the photographer within the scene.
Yeah, right.
Like whether you constructed it or whether she's a friend or whether she's someone you don't know and you took that photo.
Yeah.
But then when you see the mannequin, it has to be constructed. I love the hand of the mannequin.
Yeah, it's good.
So wait, what's next? Where are we? Ooh, okay. So there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
Tell me what you feel about them.
I really like the middle one, I think. I mean, I love the face in the third one. I think I stood on the row of the chairs behind because I wanted to like get up high. But yeah, I don't know if it like worked very well. Yeah.
This is something that I'm starting to see more from your photos, that you're taking more images of one same scene from different angles.
Is that bad?
No, for the contrary, that's what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Like I was like, yeah, I'll try it in different ways.
That's awesome. I love all of them for different reasons. And I agree that the third one is the one that compositionally, the way you have framed this door and how she sits. And I think it, like I spoke about the ambiguity of the situation here and your relationship to the subject. Here, it's even more emphasized. And when we're looking at that bird photo, I was talking about how I'm not a big fan of ambiguity when it comes to reading the image.
Yeah.
Whereas here, yeah, there's some ambiguity to reading this person right next to her. And it might take like more than a microsecond to realize that it's a mannequin, but there's payback. You know?
Yeah.
It just makes it like awkward and kind of like whatever you thought of the image, that it might be like just some person sitting there that's looking beautiful and well made up in a weird place. Like when I look at this image, I think she might be waiting for somebody to call out her name to like get into something, right?
Yeah.
You know,
right.
and this might be another girl that's waiting.
Yeah.
But then once you realize it's a mannequin, it's that whole illusion is complete. Well, oh, that's good.
Yeah, so that was the front on bit. And
That's awesome. That's exactly the way a photographer should work. You know, just find different angles. You're sideways, you go back, you go up. What did you stand on? Sorry, did you say?
The row of chairs behind.
Smart. I love it how you included it here a little bit, but it's not necessarily distracting.
Yeah. No, it's not.
I love this.
Yeah, I noticed that on the roof, and I was like, I'm going to take a picture of it.
What drew you to it?
It was just like a really weird setting. Like the building itself, like the roof was collapsing. I don't even know what it used to be. Some kind of, I don't know what it was. But yeah, I just thought the clock was so strange.
If you had never met Misha, who would you have called for this gig?
I don't know. I was kind of just thinking of like doing it myself.
Really?
Yeah, but then I was like, I don't want to like mess up, and it'd be nice to have someone who knows what they're doing.
You know what? Even though this is a very like banal subject, and the space itself is nondescript, there's nothing particularly special about it. The way you have captured a lot of geometry and darkness versus it's a very monochromatic image, and this darkness is kind of like telling of the decay of the place itself.
Yeah, it was in a funny way.
Were these fluorescents?
Yeah.
So for me, I've always said that whatever is outside the frame is just as important as what has been included in the frame. And the fact that I can tell they are fluorescents, it's such an elegant way of describing the place by absence.
Yeah.
And then you have this, was this a frame? I mean, at first I thought it was a door, but obviously it's not, because doors look like this in this place.
I don't know what that is.
Whatever it is, it's heavy enough for it to outbalance this bit.
Yeah.
And then we were talking about Misha, about photos not being straight, but working.
Yeah.
I think this is a really good example.
Huh.
And you know I'm obsessed with...
Yeah.
How do you like this?
Yeah, I like it. The colors of the painting work really well with the shirt.
Hey, so what was she doing when you photographed the clock?
We were just leaving the room and I looked up and we had spoken about how the clock was weird and I wanted to take a picture.
So these are not in order?
Yeah, they are.
So wait, you're leaving the room and then you photograph the clock and then you went... you went back to shooting her somewhere else.
Yeah.
What's so funny?
I don't know. I like the one on the... I like both of them, but I like the one on the left.
Good stuff. So that's it for Kim Hyunji. Was that her last name?
Yes.
Let's see what Misha did from this shoot. She's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, this is it.
Yeah, that's one that she took on her phone, which I really liked.
We were speaking about this with her.
The phone?
Yeah, just in general, shooting with the phone, how she's... I think she is comfortable with having a phone registry and using that as the final product, as long as she had proper photos of whatever she's shooting.
Yeah. I think often when we shoot, she always likes to get some like kind of zoomed in phone ones too. I like it.
And I was like, oh, what's that lo-fi artist, like Osborne? And then I messaged you.
Yeah, Shauna.
And then I looked at Shauna's Instagram and Misha follows her.
Yeah, she's so good.
So I think she knows what. I love this. She made her laugh. There's.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Look at that.
Yeah. And the mannequins were holding phones.
Hell yeah, iPhone 4.
Yeah.
That's cool. Why were the mannequins holding phones?
It was a part of the exhibition.
Oh my god, Misha is ridiculous. And this is the only other photo she's posted, right?
Of this one, yeah, I think so.
That's good.
I think there might... Is there one next to it? Yeah.
Nice. I love this, how this falls out of focus, even though it's like really close to the face. They're like wide open.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm going to ask?
Mm.
About you shooting always at like 16 or 11 plus.
Yeah. I usually, to be honest, I haven't really gone up higher than 11, I don't think.
So it's always between 8 and 11?
Yeah.
But this is beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
So why are you holding yourself back from using that range of the spectrum?
I don't know. I guess I just haven't experimented enough with it. And, you know, when you see those photos and...
That's all they have.
What's that?
That's all they have. Some photos, you know? Oh, I couldn't think of anything interesting.
Yeah, so I just made it, you know, put something in focus and then the rest of it is blurred or whatever.
Just to flex the depth of my photographic oeuvre.
Yeah. I think it works well when you are up close to something anyway.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, the closer you are to your subject, the shallower the depth of field is.
Mm.
So even if you're at f11, if you're shooting really close, like a macro, it's going to be shallow.
Yeah. So
Depth of field has, I think, 4 factors that affect it. One of them is aperture, which you're all aware of it, right?
Mm.
The other one is focal length.
Yeah, right.
So if you have a 50mm lens versus a 200mm lens, the depth of field is going to look different.
Yeah.
The other one is distance to subject. So the closer you are, if you're shooting a macro, it's going to be shallower.
Mm.
And the fourth one, I wish I remembered, but
You don't remember?
no, maybe there isn't the fourth one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where was this?
This was at Flinders Beach. I did a shoot.
I just remembered.
The
fourth one is format.
Ah.
So a medium format camera will have shallower depth of field than a 35mm.
Yeah, right.
That's why I don't use my Mamiya or any of the medium format cameras for my still lifes, because I need everything to be in focus.
Yeah, okay. Huh.
Sorry to interrupt. I hate to do that. But no. But the thing is, I knew there was a fourth one, and I knew that for a long time I never considered it. And I'm glad that I set the record straight.
Yeah. Yeah, this was at Flinders Beach.
I like this image. It's like a 101 good composition. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind it. This was not too long ago. In Thornbury.
Yeah, we're always shooting the north.
No, we went to Caulfield recently.
What do you think about the balance of it?
I think it works. I mean, it's crooked. I wish that I didn't get this extra bit in on the side. But yeah.
Would you crop it?
I mean, I don't necessarily think it needs it because, like, this is dark and there's so much darkness here.
Yeah. Where was this?
This was at Mary Creek.
I remember this day.
Yeah.
Mid-isolation.
Yeah.
Do you like?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I really like the one before, actually. Yeah.
It's nice. It's, yeah. Well, we all know why it's nice, you know, like these specular highlights really make it stand out from the dark background.
Yeah.
Do you like this?
Yeah, I do.
Which one do you like better?
The one on the right.
Yeah, I like how you compose the one on the left, though. You know, like this skull. You could have completed because it was complete, right?
Yeah, there was a lot of graffiti, and then I was like, do I want to take photos of graffiti? But I liked the colors, and I thought I could have it peeping a little bit.
Peeping, peeping, peeping.
Haha, let's see, on top of the thing I couldn't climb.
Do you like?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I thought it was going to be a lot darker, actually. It was quite dark.
It's nice.
That one's cute.
Hey, this was yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
Why are you laughing?
Just because, I don't know. These plants look a lot better in real life than they do in a photograph.
Were you trying to consciously match this one with the line beneath it?
I mean, it was already doing that, so I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like these plants. Some sort of strange succulent, and they're quite purple in real life.
Do you like how that turned out?
I don't mind it. I could have done it a bit further away, but I have a feeling that there was something here, and that's why I had to...
There was a tower.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. I don't know about this power line.
Yeah.
Power pole.
Which photo is coming next?
Next, after this, maybe near the train station.
There's something in between.
Ah, maybe like a Minnie Mouse. Oh. Yeah, everyone's putting soft toys out at their window.
Yeah, I mean, they always do here, kind of in Australia, but I think they're doing it more these days, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I've noticed a lot of soft toys when like going on walks and stuff in the window.
I guess it's like if people are isolating, it's a way of like kind of communicating with the outside world.
Yeah, maybe.
Ta-da.
Is that the last one?
It is. What's your favorite photo from the whole roll? Apart from this one, of course.
Maybe
I mean, it's such a difficult thing, you know, because this is like 2, 3 months, 4 months of your life.
That's like so bad, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to carry my camera on shoots more often now.
Yeah. It's, I think you should
without
do it.
being like rude.
Yeah, I think as long as you tell the photographer, say, I would like to take some photos for myself. Like I'm dabbling in dabbling.
I'm dabbling in photography.
No. I just want to like, I'm enjoying photographing people. So is that all right?
Yeah.
100%.
Potentially this one or this is, I don't know, that one's like standing up a lot to me.
You're both really good.
It's like the lighting in the first one is so nice.
Yeah, I think both of the lightings are really good for different reasons. I love like fluorescent lighting.
Do you?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's so flat and cold and clinical. That doesn't mean it's bad.
No, I know. But like, yeah.
In fact, the photo from my...
Would you have it in your home?
No. The stuff that I like on photos it's usually really far from like what I'm into for like a domestic space. So this image was shot with fluorescent lighting. You see it there?
Right. Whoa, look at that green.
Actually, I think this was like close to where we were yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, it was very close to Coalfield.
Huh.
So yeah, I like that quality of... I like this one as well.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
No.
Keep on doing it.
Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it. I mean, haven't been doing it very long.
Is this encouraging?
Yeah, for sure. Especially with like, I mean, I've wanted to take pictures of people for a while, and I was like, maybe I could like do my own shoot. So yeah, this is encouraging because I'm like, like different angles, and I mean, it's helpful as well. Like both of these people are models, so I didn't really have to tell them anything.
Why are you concentrating on the negative?
No, but it does help. Like if I had someone who doesn't automatically like move around and like change position, like I was, trying to focus on getting that little thing to the right point on my camera.
Chloe, you're shooting a model on film and you're doing the styling and the makeup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a lot of like successes. Yet you decide to focus on the fact that, if this subject wasn't a model, then I'd struggle. I've had this issue before. When I was around your age, I would shoot like a 36 exposures, and then 2 of them were underexposed, and I was like, I shouldn't be a photographer. And then it put it numerically. Hey, I got 34 that were good. You got a lot that were really good, and you took a lot of risks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I've had this role for a little while, so it's exciting to finally see it.
Thanks for sharing.
Thanks for having me.